Namaste. Welcome to Yoga with Todd. I'm so glad that you're here joining me today. And today's class is on yoga for healing lower back pain and tuning into nature's wisdom. So roughly about 90% of GDP in the US is affected by low back pain disability. It's rampant. So many people I know have low back pain, bulging disc, tight psoas, and also hip pain. And what's true is that about 95% of all of those dysfunctions with the low back heal naturally on their own. And yoga is a way to help facilitate and speed up that healing. So I'm going to show you some exercises today that you can do to really help you achieve more of a balance in your body such that you're not having to deal with this nagging pain. You know, our attitude really plummets when we're in pain. It's so hard to be kind to anybody when we're in pain. So this is a really great opportunity to let go. But before we dive in, I want to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and then also share this experience with anyone you know who would benefit from doing yoga for their low back. Anyone who's in pain, send this to them. And also, I invite you to join the Ashaya Yoga online membership. And if you join before April 1st, you get 50% off for the month. So I hope you'll consider becoming a regular member and heart follower in the Ashaya method. So what causes all this back pain? Well, typically it's from stress. Typically it's from just being overwhelmed with life. So much is going on now, and we tend to take it out on our body. And especially the psoas muscle, which is known as the muscle of emotion, is that when we feel scared, anxious, or in just a lot of stress, the psoas muscle tightens up in order to protect us. So it's a good thing, but then we have all these side effects from tight psoas, which is sore back pain usually. So I always say, you know, healing happens in the place in the middle. We want to open to our life. We want to say yes to it. We want to be more accommodating. But if we're over accommodating, we tend to get into burnout. We give all of our energy and all of our power away. So even as much as we want to accommodate everyone else and the life changes that happen, we also need to have an unwavering dedication to ourself. And I call that setting healthy self boundaries. Now, if you set too many boundaries, then we become rigid. So it's quite nuanced to have this balance of staying open, but also to set the boundary. And when you have a balance of being able to accommodate other people in life, including yourself, and to have a healthy self boundary, your heart cracks open, healing energy flows out of the body, and then we come into our true nature, which is joy. So a little bit more about this boundary. In Tantra, which is the philosophy that underlies Ashaya Yoga, boundary is not barriers. A barrier is like a rigid wall that just doesn't change. But boundaries in Tantra, they bend. Boundaries expand. They stay in relationship to our changing reality and our changing wants and desires. So there's a little more flexibility with this idea of boundary. All right. But still, the healing always happens in the place in the middle, which is called the madhya, or madhya means the in-between place. And it is when we learn how to balance the polarities in our life, to make sense of all that is. And when the contrasts in life, these conflicting energies become complementary, then you've got true healing power. So take a comfortable seat. Elevate your hips. That is the first step to getting a low back curve. Or if your back is in pain, don't sit on the floor. Sit up in a chair. Then roll your thigh bones in. Just manually inner rotate your thighs. Join your index fingers and thumbs, palms down. Lift your side ribs. Take your shoulders back. Lift your heart. And then close your eyes and take a couple of long, deep breaths. Just bring yourself back to the place in the middle, deep in the heart. When you inhale, allow yourself to become more accommodating and open. But then as you exhale, set healthy self-boundaries. Just slightly hug muscles to bones. Again, inhale to open, exhale, allow your hips to settle. And we open to the bigger energy. And then find the place where accommodation and boundary meet deep in the heart. And just dwell for a moment in the heart. The heart is in the center of your being. There's 3 energy centers above, 3 chakras above, 3 chakras below. It's the space between the more subtle chakras and the worldly chakras. We bring together this idea of our infinite potential sourced in sky and our limited essence of being on earth. The heart is the place where earth and sky dance, where we're able to accommodate life's changes while also maintaining healthy self-boundary. I like to think of it as we want to plug all of our power leaks, like letting other people steal your joy. No one can steal your joy without you first giving them permission to take it away from you. I call that a power leak. And so we just simply draw in. I love the title of the book called What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. Yes, we do care about what others think, but how to really tune in to yourself. What do you think? What do you feel about things? And often when you're following your heart, you have to let go of what others might say. There's a lot of naysayers around. And we just let them go, come back to your heart, say yes to your own heart, and then bring your palms together in front and to that place in the middle, which is the threshold between earth and sky, between our limited self and our unlimited potential. And from that source place, let's chant the sound of Om together. Om. Into the healing power deep in your own heart, gently bow. When you're ready, open your eyes. Namaste. Come on up to standing. Find yourself a block, preferably the thicker blocks, one that are 4 inches, and put it between your upper inner thighs like this. I call this the Pez dispenser. And you stand with your feet parallel. Now, the position of the feet has an impact on how you hold your hips and pelvis and your spine. So if you naturally stand with your feet turned out, that's going to flatten your back and pop your thigh bones forward. So just try that for a second for comparison. Turn the feet out and then just push the block forward. And we tend to walk around this way quite a bit. When the thighs go forward, the shoulders will also round and the belly will stick out. We wonder why when we age our belly gets big. Partly it's from tight psoas muscle. So bring your feet parallel. The center of the front ankle lines with the second toe lines. Those 2 lines should be parallel and about hip distance apart, roughly 4 inches. And then hug in, squeeze. So when you squeeze the block, muscles tone. Set a healthy self-boundary and even lift the toes. Find the 4 corners of your feet and place them evenly on the earth. Big toe ball mound. Pull back to the inner heel. Pull from the inner heel to the little toe ball mound and fan your toes isometrically. And then pull back from the little toe to the outer heel. Those 4 points are crucial for getting the arches to lift. And when your feet arches lift up and are balanced, the diaphragm in the pelvis, the pelvic arch, pelvic floor will also lift and tone. And having a toned pelvic floor is the basis for healing all low back pain. Okay. So once you've got that, hands to hips, then become accommodating. Say yes. Take your thighs back. I always say stick your butt out. Pass your pez to the person behind you. And you'll see what happens is there's the curve in the back. So first, we establish curve. Then keeping your thighs back, pull your tailbone down. Boundary, healthy self-boundary. But how much? Well, if you pull your tailbone in too much, you're going to push your thigh bones forward again, and then your back will flatten. So keep your thighs back, accommodate. Pull your tailbone in with healthy self-boundary and find the place in the middle. Where they match will give you a neutral spine, which is a spine with a little bit of curve and a little bit of length. Yeah, just lower your tailbone down and pull it under you. Okay, so now your legs are toned, your pelvis is balanced, palm in front from your pelvic core, push down through your feet, and from your pelvis, lengthen your spine, take your shoulders back, bow gently and pull the front ribs down and back to create thoracic integration. The waistlines pull back and up, and even though the waistline is full, lift your heart and take your shoulders back. Then inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your arms down to the side, palms in front. And again, squeeze the block, don't give up. And with unwavering dedication, lead with your heart, bend your knees and fold forward. As you bend, keep your back straight, then lightly touch the floor. Or if you have another block, you put your hands on a block. Look at your feet. Make sure they didn't turn out. If you habitually turn out, probably your feet did turn out. Okay, so no judgment. Just bring the second toe lines back into alignment. Lift your toes and inhale heart halfway forward. Exhale and bow. We get the legs to stretch out. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, fold again. Let the breath be accommodating and fluid, but at the same time, set the healthy self-boundary. Again, root your feet down. Sweep your arms out to the side. Bring it up. Arms overhead. Exhale, release. Palms in front of the heart. Very good. Okay, remove the block. And then stand again, face the short edge of your mat. Inhale, rise up. Now see if you can do thighs back, tailbone in without the block. So thighs back gives you curve, tailbone in gives you length. Balance of curve and length brings you to the place in the middle. That's where healing happens. Then exhale and fold. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, bow. Then step back, downward facing dog pose. And alternately press. One heel down, bend the opposite knee. Keep it going. Good. Now separate your feet a little bit wider than the hips and bend both knees a lot. Then hug your heels toward the midline to create the boundary, but widen your sitting bones. Accommodate more. Sitting bones go wide, but heels pull in. And then move your inner thighs back and try to generate a low back curve here in downward dog pose. To get the curve, you may notice, wow, you have to bend your knees a lot to get the hamstrings out of the equation. Okay, once you have the curve, just a tiny bit of tailbone action, pull in, tailbone, belly in and up, and then lift your armpits up, keep your heart soft. And then push your hands towards your heart towards your hands, and then push your heart all the way up your back and down through the legs and take the base of your shins back. Really push the base of the shin right at the ankle. Push the base of your shins back. And that's going to help you stretch the low back and a little bit of the hamstrings with the knees bent, and breathe. Exhale, bend your knees. Take your right foot forward into a lunge. Now, for lunge, squeeze your legs toward the middle and then lift your left knee off the floor and try to lift your left thigh more toward the sky, but soften your right hip toward the earth. And try to balance sky in the back leg, earth in the front leg. That's another way to stretch the hips, the back, the psoas muscle. And then lower your left knee down, right hand to the right leg, and squeeze your legs toward the middle. And then twist. Take your right shoulder back. Try to pull your belly up out of the pelvis. Lift your chest, shoulders back. And exhale, step back into downward dog pose and breathe. And then knees to the floor. Lunge your left foot forward. Hands on eagle talons. Can also be useful to put your hands on blocks. If you had 2 blocks, put them up like that. Squeeze your legs toward the midline and then lift your right thigh up. Push the right leg even higher toward the sky, but draw your tailbone in. So left hip to the earth, right thigh to the sky. Find the place right in the middle. The truth is, when you can be open and accommodating, but not give your power away, that's the place of balance. You hold yourself. No power leaks. You do care about what other people think, but you don't take anything personally. You know, everybody's in their own process anyway. You never really can tell, but whatever someone else is feeling, that's their job to be with that. Your job is to be with what you're feeling. Hug in. Exhale, lower your right knee, left hand on the left leg. Inhale, lift your belly and your chest, shoulders back. As you lift your heart more up toward the sky, take the outer left hip crease back toward the earth. And breathe. Release. Step back, plank. Having good toned abdominal muscles really helps to take the burden off the low back. So move your thighs back, tailbone here. Even here, be accommodating, but hold the boundary. Heart is soft. Then knees down, keep your belly in, and hold when the shoulders come to the level of the elbow. Hold as best you can. Hold, pull your belly in. Yep, tone your ribs, pull your ribs back. And exhale down. Stretch your toes back and bring your toes straight back behind the heels. Hug your heels slightly toward the middle. Roll your thighs in, pull your tailbone down, and then inhale, come up into baby cobra pose. Back arches, when they're done with good alignment, are very healthy for pulling the spine in and being able to draw, like if you have a bulging disc, to pull that fluid back in toward the spine. Really, when you take your shoulders back and release the heart forward, and the legs are engaged, the discs that are the spongy sort of shock absorbers between the vertebrae and the spine pull toward the front. All the problems come when those shock absorbers push toward the back. That's where the nerve roots are. So you squeeze the back of the spine and it will slide those discs slightly forward, like microscopically slightly. Good. Lift through your neck, lift your throat, take your palate back and occiput up. And then exhale, grow your spine long as you come down. Rest for a moment. Arms by your sides. Take a deep breath in and out. Be more accommodating just to your own body. Let go. Okay. Come up to standing and take a wide stance. One of the best standing poses for low back issues is one called Utthita Parsvakonasana, extended lateral angle. Start with your feet parallel and wide. How wide? As wide as your wrists. Then anchor your left foot so it's parallel to the back edge, turn your right foot open. Hug your legs in toward the middle to tone your muscles and protect the joints. Exhale, right forearm on the right knee, left hand to hip. Squeeze your leg muscles toward the middle and then be more accommodating. Turn your thighs in, stick your butt out. That's going to open up the low back. Keeping that now, just like we did with the pes, pull your tailbone in. Not so much that the left thigh pops forward. Keep your left thigh back and then add the tailbone. The outer right hip crease goes back and down. Then left arm up and over. Breathe from the pelvis, root your feet down. From your pelvis, stretch through your fingertips. Then root your legs. Inhale, come up, hands to hips, parallel your feet. And then square your right foot to the back edge, turn your left foot open, squeeze, and then bend your left knee, left forearm on your thigh. Pause and breathe. Create the healthy self-boundary. Hug your legs in toward the middle. It's kind of like a bandha, meaning that it's a lock that plugs your power leaks. Thighs back, tailbone in, right arm up and over. And breathe. Even as you squeeze your legs into the middle, hold the boundary. Expand from the pelvis out in all directions. Revisit, take your thighs back, stick your butt out so your right thigh goes back. Keep it back and then pull your tailbone in. The tailbone is the boundary that actually helps you not fall backwards, because when you take your thighs back, the whole front body goes back, and you have to balance that with a strong tailbone in the back body to hold the place in the middle. And there's such a sweet spot when you find the place in the middle. That's where the soma flows. Soma, S-O-M-A, means wholeness and nectar. Root your feet down. Inhale, come up. Feet to center. Walk your legs in. Grab yourself another block. This next one is a specific stretch for the psoas. So left leg forward, put the block on the short end and put the back edge of the block just above the kneecap. It's on a little space called the quadricep tendon, and it's tender, so it should hurt good. And once you have the knee on the block, don't let the block rock, just keep it steady. Surrender your thigh down, but don't give up. Push straight back through the right big toe ball mound. And then walk your hands over to the right, bend your elbows. Can you bring your forearms down all the way down to the floor? If not, bring them halfway, or you can put your forearms on another block. But our goal here is to surrender into the edge of the block. And what that does is it will release the quadricep muscle. It's almost like a deep Rolfing massage. And the hamstring will open. And then gradually come up, put both hands on the left knee, come upright, surrender your right leg down. Can you lift right arm first? And then maybe as you squeeze your legs toward the middle, the left arm goes up, surrender your hips and your thigh down towards the earth, pull your belly in, but don't give up, push back through the right big toe ball mound. Exhale, release. Step back, downward dog pose. And notice, if you will, the difference between the right and left legs. You might find that your right heel is closer to the floor now. And it's good because we just released the hamstring muscle through a massage of the quadricep. Okay, with your right hand, move the block 6 inches to your left. Lunge your right foot forward. Lower your left knee to the back edge of the block, just above the kneecap. Find that tender spot, then surrender your thigh down. Walk your hands over to the left, forearms to the floor, and surrender your left thigh down, but don't give up. Push back through the left big toe ball mound. And breathe. Let it go even more. How much more accommodating can you be? But pull your tailbone in. Create the healthy self-boundary, but be accommodating. If we're overly accommodating, we lose the alignment. So keep your left heel perpendicular. Draw the outer right hip crease back and down. And then inhale, come up. Both hands up on the right leg. Surrender the left thigh down even more. It should hurt good. It's a big stretch. But push back through the left big toe ball mound. And then pull your tailbone in strongly. Left arm up. Then right arm up. And surrender the leg even more into the block. And then exhale. Release. And step back. Downward dog pose. Well done. Remove the block. Bend your knees. And come down. All right, one more therapeutic. This one is really good, as all of these are. So for this one, you put the pes, the block right in between the thighs like we did. Bend the elbows by your sides. Line your back. And then squeeze the block and move the block towards your heels to create a low back curve. And then slide your tailbone in. Set the boundary. And then go up. And as you lift your hips up, grab onto the block with your thighs and move the block down. Your hips still rise, but you have this downward thrust of the inner edge of your thigh as you pull your tailbone in. Then pull back from your heels to your palate, and from your palate, push straight out through your knees. So as the block goes up, as your hips go up, you squeeze the block and move it down. And as you pull from your heels to your head, you root from your head out to your knees. And these actions create a balance of accommodation and an unwavering dedication to set healthy self-boundaries. Why? Because you love yourself, because you want to be happy. You don't want to give your energy out to everybody all the time. You want to become more solid in yourself. Healthy self-boundary. It's a form of self-love. And then squeeze the block lightly, come all the way down. And we're going to end with a piriformis massage. You take the block, and you take the corner of the block, place the block down on the floor, and put the corner right against the side of your hip. And you'll be able to feel, if you move the block around a little bit, where your trigger points are. And because you have your feet on the floor, you can lower your hip down to whatever amount you want to adjust the pressure. And then once you find a tender spot in the hip, this is around, or actually the piriformis muscle, which is one of the muscles that tightens up when your psoas tightens. But we just loosened the psoas. We don't need the piriformis to tighten. And surrender your hip onto the block and just breathe and see if you can relax and let go. It's amazing what just a couple of seconds of surrender can do. Be fully accommodating now. Move the block to another spot. Like, what happens is that point that feels tense actually releases. And then you got to move the block to find another one. Okay, go to the other side and do the same thing. The point of the block goes into the side of the hip, just to the outside of the sitting bone, just below the rim of the pelvis. Find another point, surrender your hip down, and enjoy the massage. You're giving yourself a block massage. Don't forget to tip the masseuse afterwards. Awesome. Okay. Release the block. Lightly pull both knees into your chest. And even as you pull your knees in, move your inner thighs back. Move your knees away to create a low back curve. Keeping the curve in your low back, now pull your knees in. It's a different way to do knees to chest therapeutically. To maintain all the natural curves of your spine, we have a lordotic concave curve in the low back. Maintain that as you pull on your knees. To do that, you activate your adductors and all the inner thigh muscles, including the pectineus muscle, which is a very short muscle that helps to inner rotate the head of the femur. Wonderful. Release, roll to your right side. Come up to sitting. Thank you so much for practicing lunchtime yoga with me, and may your back feel the spaciousness that comes when you find the balance between accommodation and healthy self boundaries. Namaste. Reminder again to subscribe, share this experience with your friends, and don't forget about the Ashaya membership. You can get 50% off. Would love to see you come and join our Tuesday and Thursday weekly classes. Thank you.